Woo! That's how you start your morning off. Goddamn Panthers thing. Somebody hand me some damn nunchucks in this piece. Woo! A holiday always faithful. Oh man. Good morning, good morning. Today's lessons, boys and girls, is going to deal with never interrupting an idiot while they're making a mistake. I know like a few nights ago, I was supposed to do this last night, but I think I'm going to do, a double play, Tuesday. I actually have 2 live streams, get my morning thoughts off now and later on late in the afternoon or evening, do a live stream then. Or mid-evening if, guys like, Art Newstall TV, he might be going up tonight, but we'll see. We'll make adjustments. I typically don't like to step on other content creators' toes, and they typically don't like to step on mine, so we kind of help each other out. Well, Candace, what's up? Dari, what's up? Jack Pilati, what's up? But yes, you cannot interrupt the fool while they're making a mistake. That is a crucial thing that you must not do, especially when you're combating an opponent in a game of wits and warfare. The reason why is because a person's going to expose themselves, especially when they're in the midst of arrogance. When they're in the midst of arrogance, it's very hard for them to think they can't make a mistake. And that's how Shorty was the other day, Sunday night. It's incredible because she admitted her flaws, and I barely had to talk. She was rude. She was aggressive. Probably smelt of menthol and malt liquor. But, I'm only just assuming then because I couldn't smell her. But I'm pretty pretty dead on about this stuff. She was abrasive, insufferable. She didn't want to have a conversation. She wanted to have a battle. Even if she didn't want to win or couldn't win, which she wasn't, she just wanted to have a battle. And unfortunately for a lot of these ladies out here and some of these men, why are you fighting battles you just can't win? You talk about how your husband left, but yet you don't see any part that you've done on a live stream for about 30, 40 minutes. If that, your behavior says all. Your behavior actually kept you or kept you in a place of obsolescence. You were so arrogant, so much so to the point where you couldn't see any flaw that you did, that you had to blame black men. There's nobody to blame more than black men. I'm going to tell you that now. Black men are the world heavyweight champions of blame. She could not, in her mind, think that her attitude could drive a man away. Never that. Not in her mornings, not in her thoughts, not in her revelations. She couldn't think back and recollect that maybe I need to tone this down. Maybe I need to come with humility. She claims that she was a divorced woman with 3 kids. Life is going to humble the hell out of you if you have 3 young kids and you left your man. And that's just not what Officer Faulkner's saying. It's not what BGS says. It's not what Art Newstyle says. It's not what Dr. T says. It's not what Dr. Ronald Neal, Green Gorilla, Angry Man. It's not what Grinch says. It's not what Art of Whitmore says. This is what nature says. Okay? This is what biology says. Men are going to look at you as a liability. You were so arrogant that you thought you could talk to me anyway on my channel and thought I wasn't going to boot you. But you wonder why you're a single woman. Oh, I chose to be single. No. Nature chose for you to be single. You're what they call damaged goods. You get sent back to the factory. And if you're lucky, you get taken away from the shelves of the high-end store, and you get sent down to Dollar General. Marked down extremely. See, fundamentally, the single mother cannot admit that she was at fault. As a matter of fact, she cannot admit that once she gets impregnated, that she has total control and responsibility and accountability. Yes, the man plays a part, but according to the law of the land, it's on you. This is what you fight for. This is what you argue about. There's a saying that I made up that it always makes Mr. Z giggle. They're too dumb to be stupid. It's no different if I'm talking to a guy and he wants to battle with me and he throws a looping left and I see it coming. Overhand right. or looping left. I put my block up. If it's an overhand right, high block, straight down the pipe. If it's a looping left, duck it and attack the body and go right to the head. Mistake has been made. Mistake has been taken. When you show your weakness, and most people don't understand the strategy, the more you talk, the more you expose. Somebody put that in the chat, please. The more you talk, the more you expose. This is the reason why throughout history, men have been taught when they're conducting business or warfare to be stoic. Donnie Mac, what's up? Lord Juno, what's up? The King's Palace, what's up? Excuse me, the Knight's Palace. KP, what's up? Boiling blood boiling, what's up? The more you talk, the more you expose. Let me give you an example. All of us went to school. All of us had a bully or somebody who we looked at as an adversary. It's always the guy who does the most talking who exposes himself. Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass at 3 o'clock when we get out of school. Okay, I got all the preparation to either avoid where you're gonna be or conduct a preemptive strike. You put literally all of the combative tools in my box. It's not like a sneak attack where you're like, oh man, I'm at a disadvantage. You literally gave me Batman level prep time to either avoid you or to come up with a strategy to defeat you. The Knights Palace said done with their shit, guilt tripping, shaming tactics, all of it. They can kick rocks. Well, see, that's the problem there. The ultimate weapon that black men have developed is their indifference. Okay? Their indifference, there's no hold. You know, like Pinocchio, or better yet, what did Ultron say when he first came into fruition? There are no strings on me. I want you to realize that. There are no strings on you anymore because of your power of indifference. They don't hold a monopoly over black men anymore. And day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, that grip is loosening to the point where it's gone. And see, just like that young lady, well, relatively young, if you listen to her from the conversation Sunday, she didn't like to be called Miss. She didn't like to be called Lady. Why? Because she was raised in a jungle, in an urban jungle. You can hear it from her vernacular. You could hear it from her demeanor. She was uncomfortable of being treated lady-like. Oh yeah. Shout out to Dr. Dunbar. Keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and then you see which is which. Exactly. See, the fact of the matter is why I like to talk about military science and police tactics is because A lot of this is basically psychological first. Sometimes it may be even spiritual first. And all I had to do was let her talk. I'm 33. I'm going to school to become a court stenographer. Even though she didn't pronounce the word stenographer right, or properly, but I digress. There's some words that trip me up as well, so I'm not going to be an elitist, a word elitist like Toya the tutor. Shout out to that girl, Toya. Where we fundamentally fail is that we want to win the argument when the argument's already won. Just let your opponent talk. They're exposing themselves. There's two things about a knowledgeable person and a braggadocious person. The knowledgeable person just needs a few sentences, if that. There's times when I'm hanging out with the good doc, known as Dunbar, and we're having some riveting conversations. And when you ask him about the profession, the man knows his shit. It's from Sunday's conversation, would you know? And he's knowledgeable. Obviously, he has a PhD in it and pharmacology, so he has to know his stuff. There's nothing needed to be bragged about. There's no, oh, I got a PhD. No, this is what I know. It's not his defining moment, but that's who he is. But that's what he knows. He makes the degree. The degree doesn't make him. See, the issue with that woman like there is that a lot of our black women, unfortunately, have to be on the defensive because many black women are raised by mothers who don't give a damn about them. They love their daughters because of their vagina has a price, but theirs has devalued greatly. I've said this once and I said it before. The first person to put a price tag on your vagina was your mother. I'm back, folks. Nah, babe, you were good. That was your show. And I'm used to you. I'm used to the way you're talking, so it doesn't bother me. You're a very passionate guy. It was actually a good conversation. See, a lot of people have not taken the time to understand that out there, once you pass the threshold of the age of 18, everything falls upon you. I will tell you this as a parent of a 15-year-old son. From 0 to 17, he can blame every goddamn thing on me. As a matter of fact, I'll even throw him a lifeline. From 0 to 17 in 11 months and 27 days, he can blame every goddamn thing on me. And I'll take it. That's the type of man I am. I'll take it. But once you cross the threshold at 18, I am not responsible legally, morally, and ethically for you. Do you raise your children to be little human beings and little adults? I'm going to tell you why. She's bitter. Because one, she thought that she was better than the man. Two, she thought that man was put on earth to take her bullshit. Three, she claimed she was married, but I sincerely doubt it. And if you were married, it was probably to some simp or some dude who came out of jail and you were putting money on his book, so he was forced to stay with you a little bit. You claim that you got a 1, 2, 3-year old, which is possible. There are some siblings who are 11 months apart. It's possible. Trust me, a lot of our grandmothers never saw their feet for like 5, 10 years because they were pregnant so damn much. But what we have to figure out, why was it so easy to show her mistakes? One, you're insufferable. I time and time again, you intersectional feminists, you ain't shit for that, AB. Don't talk about Nicki Minaj about that. I mean, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna hold your comment up there for a second because I'm gonna get to that. I'm glad you mentioned it. You still ain't shit, but I'm gonna mention something to that. Time and time again, you get these intersectional feminists, you get these subconscious feminists, the feminists who don't know they're feminists, but they have a lot of feminist behavior and actions. They come up to these panels, they want to try to mommy or boss you around, and they don't realize they have absolutely no power. Their attitude and their demeanor is futile. They're wallowing in the height of obsolescence when it comes to femininity. Yet, time and time again, they get defeated or ignored. You either choose to take the battle or not battle at all. The ball is not in their court. The power of indifference has won the day. The power of decision has garnered you favor in the day of battle. Let's look at Nicki Minaj, like, the good brother AB Media, and shout out to AB Media. If anybody need a website or graphic designs done, you hit up AB Media. Put your email in the chat. Give him a good price. He'll be fair with you. But guess what? You're gonna get some quality damn work. So don't skim up on the man. Support our content creators and support our experts in the fields. Woo! But I'm gonna mention about how defeated a person like Nicki Minaj truly is. I don't care about her money. She's defeated. You don't wonder why she's in such a foul mood and looking weird as she does? Hey, if y'all need graphic design, you need a web address because he's helping me with my website, a Black Lion Security. There it is. Contact the man. Get the man the money. And he's gonna give you the quality. Nicki Minaj, when she was in her prime, because she's out of her prime, could have had a lot of those high tier men like a Drake and others. But look who she married. She married so far off the fucking Ponderosa that it doesn't make any damn sense. She did not marry somebody in her class. And it eats at her every fucking day. That every time something comes up, she's got to foot the bill. See, men, we naturally date down. We naturally date down in age, weight, income. Because once you show a chick, a good time, you don't have to do that much to impress her, especially when you're dating down. See, women really think that men really want equals. I was talking to my boy the other day. Talking to my boy the other day. Talking to my boy the other day. And I mentioned to him, for the longest time, women never had to understand men, but men always understood women. I want you to think about that. Not one time did they had to understand men. And this is their fatal flaw. And when they speak, they show it. When they speak, they show it. Every time they speak, they show it. They don't understand men. Listen to all these feminist talking points. I'm looking for a man on my level. No man wants a woman on his level. No real woman wants a man that's equal to them. They want superior men. How do I know this? Because I understand and I know women. I know what makes you tick. I know what makes you smile. I know what makes you sad, and I know what makes your feelings get hurt. KP from KC5 said that bitch is mentally ill. Charles, how did you even talk to her? Shit. Because I'm gonna tell you a real secret. If you want me to tell you the secret, give me a woo, and don't forget to hit the cash app and the super chat. Don't forget to hit that. I'm gonna tell you a real secret, right? Here's a secret. Most of these broads. No, 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 no. I need my woos in the chat. But I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you the secret, folks. Come closer. Come closer. Closer. A little bit more. A little bit more. Most of the chicks you speak to nowadays have mental illness. You ever figure that out? Most of these chicks out here have mental illness. They're narcissists. They suffer from psychosis. These are the same women. Shout out to KP. Jesus, Allah, and Buddha can't help the black woman. Shout out to Volcanus, another faithful. Woo! Leaderboard with the $10. Most of these women out here, and any cop will tell you when you go to a domestic violence scene, most of them have flipped their fucking lid. I literally specialize in talking to the crazy, the delusional, and the stupid, and made a damn good career out of it for nearly 2 decades. Think about it. This is the highest, the zenith of anytime, right? That women have been on the most psychotropic drugs, they're the most lonely, and they are the most depressed people. Nothing on God's green earth can buy you happiness. I don't care if she's a billionaire. You ever notice women getting all these positions? How happy are they truly? Once they figure out what men have to go through day by day. I'm going to say something very controversial, I know it's very early, and I really don't give a fuck, and I really don't. If women have to do what men have to do on a day-to-day basis, by 6 months, a large majority of women would commit suicide. And it's been shown with studies because guess what? When that one chick who was an intersectional feminist disguised herself for a man for 2 years for this experiment, she couldn't even make the entire 2 years. She had to stop because she started to develop a hatred and disdain for women because of the way she was being treated. And just by only the fact that she was viewed as a man. They act like the men they really truly want to be or get. I feel very comfortable talking to a blowhard, narcissistic, psychotic, delusional, psychotropic woman because that's what they breed. That's what they teach. They don't teach their daughters to be feminine and dainty. They teach them to be combative. They teach them to be combative. If they teach them to have attitudes, one of the most disturbing things I see mothers do with their young daughters is to teach them how to be sassy, how to just pose in the camera and take a picture like a sassy chick. That's disturbing. You don't teach them to be feminine. You ever notice this? How many mothers nowadays even buy tea sets and cooking play sets for their daughters anymore? I want you to really think about that. How many mothers go out there and buy tea sets and cooking little stoves and kitchens for their daughters? You wonder why you meet a chick 25, 30 years old and she can't cook. She can't clean. You wonder why she's a liability. You go out there working 8, 12, 16 hours a day, and she's sitting up in the goddamn house, and the house looks like a fucking wreck. Can't even iron a goddamn sock. Such a bad cook, she would burn cold cereal. But yet, I know one thing she has an abundance of is attitude and disdain and hatred. Yes, every man has a right to ask, what does that woman bring to the table? We're gone are the days that we're going to take on liabilities. And that's what I tried to explain to that woman. Your attitude and the fact that you got multiple kids and you left a man, does that look attractive to another man to come into a role where he's automatically losing? And here's the fucking kicker, right? Here's the fucking kicker. These are the same bitches who will think that a man is supposed to kiss the ground she walks on, but can't even teach her sons how to read. Can't even teach their daughters how to cook. Don't invest in their children. The only time you see her invest in her sons and her daughters is either one, her daughter gets pregnant and she's gonna bring some stamps and some goddamn wick to the house, or she invests in the son where he actually has an athletic prowess that he inherited from his daddy, and he might be able to get to a goddamn pro team and get her dumb ass off the hood. We're the only race of people who expect our sons, not their husbands, our sons to buy their mothers a house. I want you to take that into consideration. That chick, if she has sons, they're doomed. They are doomed. But that's harsh, Officer Charles. That's harsh, Officer Faulkner. That's mean. No, it's truthful. They're doomed. Some of you out there who are mothers don't even teach your daughters how to clean herself properly when they're little girls. And you wonder why they're coming around with so many infections. There should not be a reason why a little girl has an infection because she didn't clean herself properly. I want you to think about this. A job that you should be proficient at, you fail miserably. You can't even teach your daughter how to clean her own vagina properly. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. I'm going to tell you this. When my son was a baby, he never had a diaper rash. You put that little ointment and that Vaseline around his waist and his ass and his little thighs. There you go. Exactly. How you going to be jealous of your son because he had a day off of school? This is the most narcissistic, psychotic, delusional generation of women there has ever been on God's green earth. It's a damn shame that some of these chicks got four dicks in their mouth at the same time, and that shit's fantastic, I guess. Note the wordplay. These chicks are jealous of their goddamn kids. You know what's funny? When the Ravens were playing the Bengals, did you ever notice Joe Burrow's mom? Was she by herself? No, she was not by herself. She had a husband. How many black athletes you see them up there? Their fathers are there. They've been into trains. Charles, I swear. I mean, nah, I ain't sleep. I know a lot about females, and trust me, having conversations and learning how not to appear to be judgmental, it goes a long way when speaking to females. Goes a long way. These are the same females that will sleep with gay men. These are the same females that want to go to girls' trips just so they can be banged out and not judged. They go out of town just to go to strip clubs and get out their little hedonistic desires. Detroit 313. Is this all black women? Of course not. But it's the majority. The majority do not like to be feminine. They want to have the slut culture permeate. Think about it. It would be close to impossible to promote no voting, no fucking to Asian people. And traditionally, they don't vote any fucking way. They worrying about getting the bag. They worrying about a business. Why do you think Asian people tell black people, no, 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 no. You build churches, we build businesses. See, all of this feminism shit has really decimated the value of black women in ways they can't even comprehend yet. So much so, they will do things that just are out of place, like arguing with you in the middle of a goddamn Walmart, getting up in your face. What you gonna do? You gonna hit me? You gonna hit me? What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. But as BJS say, there's gonna come a time where they know not Joseph. There's gonna come a time when a generation of men that you told that they were equal to you, that men and women were equal, will whoop your ass and not give a damn about how they do it. There's gonna come a time when that shit happens, but you're too foolish to see the mistakes that you make. You're too dumb to be stupid. That's why I don't have any pity. I don't have any mercy. We ran out of that shit years ago. All I have to give you is my indifference and my distance. If she offers no assistance, give her nothing but your resistance and then your distance. That's just pimp rule number one. Somebody put that in the chat. If she offers no assistance, you give her your resistance and then your distance. That's the rule of the day. It's like when I was talking to Bay last night. Superman even said, growing up on a farm in Kansas, even I know when it's time to put a mad dog down. You got to put down your loyalty to people who hate you. That's the reason why. Black men, if you can find a good black woman in this country, God bless you, take her and get her the fuck away from this place. For the rest of you, because that is a superpower for itself to find one who's worth marrying nowadays. The rest of you, you're gonna have to find wives elsewhere. There's plenty of submissive, enjoyable, Loving and caring black women in the Caribbean, Brazil, and Africa. You don't even have to go interracial. And if you do, so what? That's your choice. Black men are no longer going to be the punching bags and the garbage men of the dating world for very long. I'm gonna tell you that now. And I know I'm gonna get a couple of detractors in my comment section when this video is over. I'm gonna get some detractors. And I'll tell them, I'll be your one leader tonight as well. You can come with all your detractions. And you know what I'm gonna do? As Kevin once said, I'm gonna make you famous and I'm gonna get paid doing it. Go ahead. I have a whole anthology of me speaking to simpy ass dudes and a bunch of psychotic chicks. Speaking of lovely ladies, how you doing, Shonda? Long time no see. Woo! See, I don't have to worry about women like Shonda and Toya and others. They have their men. They're happy. And see, once again, I gotta prove a point with Shonda. Look at her picture. What is she doing? She's smiling. She's showing feminine grace. You don't see her twerking. Hell, in that lovely picture she has, you don't even see cleavage. See, these are the type of women that we pedestalize. When you hear her on a panel, she waits her turn. She asks for permission, even though she doesn't need it. She's feminine. She gets the utmost respect from all the men in the panel and chats, no matter what live stream she's on. The same thing with Asada Muhammad. The same thing with Toya the Teeterer. The same thing for Fitness Mom and others. But yet, here's the folly of a lot of black women in its totality, actually. They won't pick a Shonda or a Toya to be the representation of black femininity. No, they will not. They will not say, hey, that's the lady we need to strive to be. They will pick a Megan Thee Stallion. They will pick a Cardi B who says she's Dominican and not black, but she say nigga a lot. Just saying. You can't be a straddle of the fence. They will never pick an elegant lady like a Shonda to be their representative. Because Shonda would so eloquently put, you know what? We need to hear our brothers out. They'll never say that. You know why? It's too much like right. Too much like goddamn right. Too much like right. But you know what they want to do? They want to twerk all day. They want to teach their daughters to do it. And they want to teach their sons to go fight their battles from men they should have been messing with in the first place. And it's their fault. But about to end the show. Talk to y'all later. Woo. I'm out.